Tonight's football is brought to you by the SIO, your state insurance office, in association with Carlton United Breweries, makers of Carlton Draft.
Hawthorn qualified for the quarterfinals of the Panasonic Cup, beating the Brisbane Bears, highlighted by a 9-goal third quarter. Collingwood made it through, also with a devastating one-quarter burst. They got 11 goals in the final term against North Melbourne. So tonight, it's the Hawks against the Magpies. Watch the feathers fly. Good evening, I'm Drew Morfitt. Welcome to VFL Park for this third quarter-final match in the Panasonic Cup. And what a game it should be between Hawthorn and Collingwood. This is how they reached this stage of the competition, both winning their first round matches. And in the first round, Hawthorn beat the Brisbane Bears by 25 points when they kicked those 9 goals in the third quarter. And Collingwood beat North Melbourne by 34 points after the game had been nip and tuck right to three-quarter time until the Magpies kicked 11 goals in the last quarter. Well, what a night we have for football here at VFL Park. Currently, it's 21 degrees, very mild. I don't know whether night football has been played in these conditions too often before, but it's absolutely fantastic for football out here. And there's a big Collingwood army out here to see whether the Magpies can improve from last year when they finished 12th, which was their worst finish in the VFL since they won the Wooden Spoon in 1976. Of course, they're up against Hawthorn, who have played in the last 5 grand finals. You'd have to favour Hawthorn on that basis, but I wonder whether our experts are going to agree. The great full forwards Peter McKenna and Bernie Quinlan. Well, the Magpies did show something in that first round, didn't they?
Well, they certainly did, Drew, and I think they're expecting a very big year. But this is a big test for them. They did beat Hawthorn in a practice match, but they're the stepping stone. If you can beat Hawthorn, then you're a greatly improved side. There's what a projected Collingwood line-up. Whether they actually line up like that, the players to look for. Whether Christian can hold down full forward. He did very, very well in the last game against North Melbourne, taking over from Brian Taylor. Doug Barwick on the half-forward flank is a proven goal kicker, a very long kick of a football, and the player that has really impressed me comes from the Diamond Valley is young Mark Perkins there in the forward pocket and can certainly kick a goal. Starcevic maybe will line up at centre-half back or possibly at centre-half forward, and of course they've got the brilliant Dacos in the centre. He's worth coming a long way to see.
And there's a Hawthorn lineup. One notable absentee, of course, is Robert Domenico on the wing. He's had a hard battle over there in the interstate clashes and he won't be playing tonight. But Tony Hall's an interesting one, lining up on the half-back flank. He could also play on the half-forward line. A great display over there for South Australia, and Hawthorn are very glad to have him in that side.
Thanks, Pete. And Bernie, look forward to hearing your comments during the night. Just a reminder that often during the night we'll be taking you to the boundary line and going to the dressing rooms to hear from Dixie Marshall and Peter Donegan. We'll be back for the start of the game in just a moment as Collingwood enter the arena. Welcome back, and the captain's about to toss the coin, or the umpire to toss, for Dennis Banks and Michael Tuck.
Michael Tuck calls tails, and that was a nasty bounce in the centre of the ground. And heads it is. Dennis Banks wins the toss, and the Magpies will kick to the left of screen. That is the big scoreboard end, but it's a perfect night for football out here at VFL Park, and hardly a breath of wind to speak of.
If anything, in that early game, the breeze was coming slightly towards the main grandstand, so it doesn't matter which way either side kicks.
So not a great advantage to Collingwood to win the toss. Banks acting captain tonight, Tony Shaw out, David Cloak out and Brian Taylor out. That's 550-odd games of football between them.
Yes, and I think Hawthorn will miss Dipier Domenico. There's Gavin Dorr, one of the umpires tonight, with Peter Howe almost to bounce the ball. There's a great atmosphere here at VFL Park.
Yes, a big crowd here, and I venture to say most of them Collingwood supporters, G'd up by their first-round victory against North Melbourne. And early in the game, Ryan getting a little kick out, but the mark taken by Condon, who impressed in that game on the Sunday afternoon against the Brisbane Bears. Up towards half-forward. Attempted tap forward by Whitman, number 10. It's tough under the bottom there. The umpire blows the whistle and will ball it up. Peter Dacos, who represented Victoria in Adelaide in the Bicentennial Carnival. Well, Hawthorn had 5 reps for Victoria, but all up 13 representatives who played for 7 different teams, would you believe? That's their strength. Free kick to Collingwood, and listen to the crowd reacting to that.
Great use of the body by Dennis Banks there, Drew, as he, shocking kick over. They don't kick like they did last time. Brilliant pick up by Robertson. Good play. That was brilliant play by Ayres. Great use of the body as they dive in after. There's a free kick with a man going in after it. And this is Paul Harding. He's got a big job tonight. Greg Deal, because that looks like Matty Ryan might be down out for the count there. Let's hope not for his sake and Collingwood's. A hurry kick by Gavin Brown. Up to half forward, the players fly. A hurry kick, Buckenara, Platten into the fray already. A quick kick finds Graham Atkins, who's a little bit of the peroxide, I think, over the summer. Graham Atkins, formerly of North Melbourne. He brings it to half forward. The high flyers are there. The ball comes loose. Morrissey, smothered beautifully off the boot. This is Robertson, who's got a ton of pace. He hooks it back. Was it out of bounds? Langford and Christian. Christian dragged to the ground. No, said the umpire. Beautiful football, Chris Langford, as he spins out of it, and the Victorian centre half back brings it to his teammate. And this is Chris Whitman taking the mark on half back flank.
Game's opened at a cracking pace. Brereton on Starcevic. Brereton gets to the front. He takes the mark or free kick. Might be 50 metres here if you're not careful, Craig Starcevic.
Matthew Ryan coming off the ground. So that's a bad loss to the Collingwood side.
Now Brereton. Not great distance with that kick out wide to the half-forward flank. Dunstall a long way out. Back to Buckenara. 55 metres out. Nobody back there. Goes long. But Manson gets back there to touch it through for a behind. First score of the match.
I think Gary Buckenara, Bernie, could have run right in there as we see.
Gary Ayres off.
Well, he'd be a really bad loss, and having his arm attended to there, he's a great player, Gary Ayres.
Gary Ayres, he's been fantastic over the years for Hawthorn.
Michael Tuck here. Number 4 for Collingwood is Hawke, playing his first game for the Magpies, the former Swan. Loveridge reaches his own hand pass and bangs it back towards half forward. Manson well placed and juggles it and marks. And a 50-metre penalty, which will take him right up to centre wing.
Yes, and I don't think Alan Joyce will be too impressed with that. You cannot afford to give away stupid free kicks like that with a 50-metre penalty against you. And Manson started off in the ruck. Fellows on the bench as Manson towards half forward. Up they go. It's fisted away by that strong Hawthorn defence. Perkins, the big fist. There's Michael Tuck, a great player he's been for many, many years. Manson gets out a quick hand pass. Russell Morris caught. Gets in, beautiful backing up. Look at Langford all the way down for fullback. Condon's there. Did he throw it? Buckenara, no, said the umpire. Buckenara grabbed. Free kick to Buckenara. Now it is, I think, round the neck. Unlucky. But still, the umpire said
he ducked down into that one, Peter, so I think that was a good decision by the umpire to give that one to Atkins.
Well, the first one might have been Buckenara's, but it's hard and tough out there as the ball is on centre wing.
And a big pack here. Socket off the ground by Mew. Hurriedly intercepted there by Hawke. Up they go. Dacos showing the wizardry of Peter Dacos. Is left-footed to centre half forward. All Collingwood. But the mark was put down there by Barwick. That was a golden opportunity for Doug Barwick.
Yes, Drew. He just took his eye off it at the last moment. And what a great pass from Peter Dacos. He's a tremendous player. Got great skills. And that was really set up for a goal for Collingwood there.
Didn't the crowd surge when Dacos came through the middle? Perkins, down he goes, picked up by Tuck, back towards centre wing. Certainly are having a dip. Manson, been in the play early, he's doing well, James Manson. And now the whistle's gone, he was holding the ball, doing nothing to get it out, said the umpire, and the free kick to Peter Curran from centre wing.
Curran, one of the Hawthorn high flyers. He's going deep to the half-forward flank. Hall, who did so well for South Australia in the State of Origin Carnival. Here's Whitman, was caught, dropped it. Play on, said the umpire, Gavin Brown. Curran, close to the boundary line, and this is desperate out here at VFL Park tonight. The Magpies having a red-hot go as we see Matthew Ryan was really hit hard in that first quarter and in a lot of pain, as you could see. Two good players off the ground, Matthew Ryan, of course Gary Ayres, but with three interchange players. We see Johnny Platten there at the bottom of the pack, but three interchange players in these Panasonic Cup games certainly gives you that extra man to cover the injuries. There's Robertson actually through that. Oh, some really strong tackling going on out there, Bernie.
It's like a day grand final, isn't it, the way this game started?
Well, we saw Gary Ayres in the hands of the trainers a moment ago. What's happening down there, Peter Donegan?
Pete, it's Dixie Marshall here, and Gary Ayres fell heavily on his right elbow. Doctors have examined it, they've iced it. They say he's going to be back on by the end of the quarter, but I wouldn't hold my breath.
Abbott from half-back up towards the centre of the ground. Brown. Hurried hand pass to Dacos. Well smothered Peter Dacos. And that was done by Andrew Gowers, a youngster, just 18 years of age. He captained Xavier last year in the amateurs. And nice to see these new faces breaking into the Hawthorn lineup. He did well then to spoil Dacos. Boundary throw in just forward of the wing for the Hawks. Manson really having a go early on. Comes out here to Hawke. Gets the hand pass and finding a lot of open spaces. Barwick long to centre half forward. Through Perkins it goes. Picked up by Langford. He taps it forward straight to Banks. Banks caught by Mew but gets the kick away. Chance for Collingwood off the ground. Keys. It falls here and a big chance here for the Magpies through Perkins. Keeps the ball in under pressure. Good shepherd by Keys. And look at the desperation Hawthorn needed to stop Collingwood getting a score.
Gee, they've got a tough back line, Bernie.
They're very hard kick goals against Hawthorn, especially Chris Langford. He's a great fullback.
Well, Collingwood really did mess that up there. They had 2 or 3 chances to score a goal and a little bit of exuberance, and they messed it up. But Hawthorn going in very hard. Look at the backing up. Platten receiving from Tuck to centre wing. Hall was in the centre of that pack. The ball knocked on, but the Magpies having a red-hot go. Gavin Brown is thrown to the ground. Jamie Turner, great tackling by Whitman. Beautiful hand pass. Comes to Krasiska. Back it comes to Watkins. Then to Turner. This is good play out of defence by the Magpies. As down to half forward the ball comes. There's little Platten. Oh, he's in everything. Knocks it wide. Whitman in there again. Kicked up the ground by Tuck. Platten in there again doing the heavy work. Swab to Buckenara. And once again Hawthorn backing up beautifully. Wide to Brereton, who already looks a very, very dangerous player. He chips it short and finds Loveridge. This is where Hawthorn are at their best. They're backing up. And now Brereton runs down to the forward line. Atkins picked him up at the moment. I don't know where Craig Starcevich is. That is a brilliant mark. That is strength personified. That by Jason Dunstall, and Lee Matthews not too happy at all.
He's very hard to get around once he gets that front position, Jason Dunstall. He's that very strong mark. Maybe Morwood could have done a little bit more to spoil that one, but once he's got that front position, he's very hard to get the ball away from.
And that's the first goal of the... Back in the centre and approaching midway through the first quarter. And Collingwood have really thrown everything at the Hawks. But the Hawks have the first goal of the match. Harding up there, but it comes down to Dacos, who drives a bomb out of the middle. Up inside, half forward. It's punched away there, comes to Keys, number 31. Schwab gets the hand pass across to Langford. And a chance for the Hawthorn fullback to steady. Wide to the wing to Brereton. And he left it down there for Gowers, but he couldn't take the mark. Brereton again. Morrissey. Off the ground by Robertson, the speedster. Ran in the stall gift last year. Intercepted by Loveridge. Off the ground, Brown. Wild kick, Banks with Mew. Good contest, but Banks finished up giving away the free kick to Chris Mew just behind the centre.
The Collingwood's crowd not too happy with that one. There's a lovely kick. Brereton, name written all over it, but good defensive play by Starcevich. It's grabbed there by Whitman. Could have been almost a throw. Kicked away by Gowers. McGuana's there for Collingwood. Lovely hand pass finds Turner. There's good backing up to McGuana again. Wide to Manson. Manson to Starcevich. Starcevich kicks long. Half forward. Oh, gee, Collingwood man went one-handed for that one and allows Harding to come in. Left foot kick straight up in the air. Travels about 35 metres. Hawthorn looking very, very strong at the moment. They're backing up beautifully. There's Condon, who did so well in the last game. Oh, Loveridge to Morris. He dropped that. No, the umpire said not so. The kick off the ground. Look at the strength of that Hawthorn defence. There's Mew, wide, Tuck. They've got loose men everywhere, Hawthorn, at the moment. Tuck elects to kick wide, and he finds Brereton 35 metres out from goal. And Bernie, Hawthorn already looking a very, very good side.
They are, Peter, but I'm very impressed with the way Collingwood are going about this. They've tackled hard, they've run in numbers. And they're not giving Hawthorn any easy kicks, although Starcevich has been found wanting a couple of times on Dermot Brereton.
Not playing close enough.
Not close enough at the moment, Peter.
Brereton, 35 metres out. Is this their second goal? It's a low flyer, but it's offline, and it's only 1 point. Well, we saw Matt Ryan in the hands of the trainers a short time ago. What's happening there, Peter Donegan?
Well, Pete, the report from the doctors is that Matty Ryan is okay. Fortunately, that did nothing but knock the wind out of him. He has been receiving some attention to his left shoulder, but I don't think there's any risk. The brilliant youngster will be able to come back when required.
Manson slides the hand pass away to Turner, but ineffective kick taken by Loveridge. Spent the summer surfing, did him some good. Look at that dodging and weaving, long and high to full forward. Dunstall almost drags in the one-hander, but it's scooped off the ground and the Magpies come out of defence. Good pick up by Brown. On their own 50. McGuan, beautiful pass down the boundary line to Starcevic. Centering the ball, not bad tactics for VFL Park. Up towards centre half forward, 2 against 2. Schwab at the back for the Hawks. High to the centre of the ground, Banks on his own. They can go down the outer side, Collingwood. They have players out in the open. That's the way he goes to Dacos. Oh, a real floater that one. It just arrived in time for Peter Dacos.
I think if Michael Tuck was a nasty guy, he could have run right through Dacos there. Dacos kicks long to full forward. Up they go. It's fisted away by the Hawthorn defence. It's grabbed there by Paul Hawke. He fires, but he misses. So that's bad luck to the Magpies. There's the ex-Swans Ruck Rover, who's not too happy with that. 1 goal to 8. The Hawks. Collingwood on 1 behind. There are 7 minutes and 13 seconds to go in this quarter. Buckenara, intelligent play, receiving from Langford. Wide to Gowers. Now, they got the loose man now. Can Curran get there? He can't. Too much pace on that occasion by Jamie Turner, and he takes it over the line. Halfway between centre wing and half forward, Alan Joyce. The typical Hawthorn man, doesn't change his expression all that much. Lee Matthews, very similar type of coach. Harding, big job with Deer out against Manson. Collingwood also have fellows on the bench ready to lend a hand. There's Loveridge, that's a free kick. No, said the umpire. I thought he was grabbed without it. Hawthorn looking very dangerous. Whitman to half forward. This will be out in the full, I would think it is. And it'll be a penalty kick to Dennis Banks.
Dennis Banks has been moved down onto Dermot Brereton.
Well, that's the quickest change of all time.
Not a bad move, though.
Well, Starcevic was playing a long way away from Dermot Brereton.
So from just inside the 50, Banks kick up short of centre wing or close to the boundary line. He might have put that straight back out on the full. He has. And a Hawthorn free kick to go to Gary Buckenara. Now across to Gowers. Well, Gowers had a chance to play for Richmond under the father and son rule. His father Trevor played for the Tigers, but he chose to play for Hawthorn. This comes to Atkins. Back he goes in defence. Mullane. Oh, great mark by Brown. And the Magpies have something here. The hand pass behind Dacos. Back to him now. Over the top to Brown, who kept going. Good play, son. Long to half forward, but ill-directed. All Hawthorn back here. Oh, they spoil each other. Schwab. It comes back to Mew. Eventually, Ayres back on the ground. His kick to the wing. Gowers, good chest mark in front of Brown.
They're falling down around that centre half forward position, Collingwood. They're getting it down there time and again, but they lose it. Hawthorn win it, the ball easily out of centre half back and bring it down to the forward line very quickly.
Buckenara to Harding, that was. The Hawks would be pleased to hear that combination after their court hassle to get them there. It comes now to Kroll, who slips the hand pass away to Mullane. He misses Turner, puts him under the hammer, gets a high tackle from Brereton. Play on, says the umpire. It's hooked back by Curran. Real contest on at the moment. Hall to Platten, the 2 South Australians. Curran, Mullane puts on a great tackle and charging straight through goes Kroll. Good football by the Magpies. Out towards the outer side. Tuck leads the race, but here comes Starcevic. Tuck there first. Starcevic hovering on him. Umpire says play on. Socket forward by Mew. The Hawks did it well then. Morris into Platten. Had to duck back and is caught. Holding the ball, Johnny Platten. Or maybe Collingwood could do something Victoria couldn't.
Yeah, great, good decision there by the umpire and great tackling by the Collingwood side.
Well, that's the advantage of a bit of pace there. Graham Atkins has got tons of that, and Collingwood having a red-hot go. A very impressive first quarter. There's Manson, who won a game for Collingwood a couple of years ago at full forward, kicking 5 goals. Oh, Gary Ayres is back on the ground. You could see that mark. Beautiful mark by Ayres on the left foot. Their back line holding up well. And Morris copped one around the ear. But they're looking very... Now, is that a 50-metre penalty? Let me see.
No.
I thought he was going to pay it, and then... no, it's not. Morris. Back line far too strong at the moment, Hawthorn. Brereton caught in the centre of the pack. The ball loose to Turner. A hurry kick. Tuck under the ball. Great courage, but he's dropped the mark. He's got plenty to back him up, though, as he comes away with the ball. Out wide, Gowers. Oh, Buckenara scouting beautifully. Stab pass, beautiful lead. Magnificent football, that. And he is a very, very good full forward, Dunstall. Just leads at the right time, Bernie.
He's got a very fast lead, Peter. And, of course, when you're on the end of passes like that one from Gary Buckenara, well, you're really made.
Well, he will have to kick from 45 metres on a very acute angle. He hooks it across his body. Now, can someone take a big mark? Oh, Curran was there. Brereton was there. Here's Danger Hall. Hand pass to Curran. Curran snaps a goal. It's close. I think it's a goal. Yes.
So the Hawks 2-2 leading the Magpies 1 behind, and just under 2.5 minutes remaining in the first term, and that is the official time. 20 minutes, no time on.
Collingwood have to get a forward firing, Drew.
Well, Brereton started this game pretty well. He often waits till about half-time to get mobile. Out now to Condon on a good pass, and Gowers takes the mark at half-forward. He's covered some territory.
Very impressive player.
Down towards the pocket. Oh, too easy. Hall, Markle free kick in the back, and a free kick against Kroll. And what a great game he played for South Australia last Saturday night, Tony Hall. The Hawks went for him and got him before the draft started. So he was a Hawthorn man before the draft came into being. He played just 5 games last year, but back in full fitness. If he shows the form for Hawthorn that he did in the Bicentennial Championships, will be a great buy. Kick looks good. Beautiful.
Very impressive player, Tony Hall. He lined up on the half-back flank in their first encounter of this Panasonic Cup, and that was, of course, against the Brisbane Bears. But I think he is of much more value on that forward line. It's a lovely kick for goal, 45 metres out on a 45-degree angle right through the middle. And he's a great acquisition to this Hawthorn side.
Well, at the moment, Collingwood just haven't got a forward who looks like doing anything. That Hawthorn defence is... They've had it up there plenty of times, Collingwood, but Hawthorn getting it out far too easily. 54 seconds to go in this quarter. There's Harding over the top. Oh, they've got too many good players round the ball at the moment. Curran sets himself against Krasiska. Almost taking the mark was Krasiska. Oh, here's danger. Loveridge. Oh, beautiful smother that by Morwood, but he might lose it again. There's 3-on-1, and Morwood hugs the ball to his chest, and he'd be quite happy to have done that then. There were 3-on-1. The ball had to have come loose, as we see 30 seconds to go, the official time. And Collingwood would not want Hawthorn to get a goal before quarter time. Now, that could be in the back. No, said the umpire. Play on. Loveridge. A hand pass straight to Dacos. Oh, brilliant skills by Peter Dacos. Wide to Krasiska. As it's 13 seconds to go, can the Magpies get it down there and score? Chris Mew from behind. Disciplined play. Punches it. Still on centre wing. Here come the Hawks. Buckenara. Loses it, punches it away. Almost times. There's the siren. A very good quarter, a tough quarter of football, but honest certainly with Hawthorn, because at quarter time here at VFL Park, the Hawks are on 3-20, leading the Magpies on 1 behind.
Tomorrow night, 7 viewers are invited to go behind the scenes with Australia's foremost performer, John Farnham. Find out just what makes Whispering Jack tick in this frank and exclusive special. John Farnham, access all areas, tomorrow night at 7:30 on 7. Welcome back to VFL Park. Drew Morfitt, Bernie Quinlan and Peter McKenna with you. And quarter time here, the Hawks 3-2-20, leading the Magpies just 1 behind. Goal scorers for Hawthorn, Dunstall, Curran and Hall have kicked 1 goal each. Just a reminder that later on in the night we'll be judging the best player on the ground, and this is what he'll win.
The player of the match receives this magnificent compact-sized variable power oven by courtesy of Panasonic.
Bernie, a gap between the class of the 2 teams?
Well, I think really the only difference is the forward lines. You look at that Hawthorn forward line, and they've got 5 players up there who are capable of kicking goals. Collingwood have really fallen down once they've got the ball up to that half-forward line. Chris Langford and Chris Mew, and of course Gary Ayres in the back pocket, have had a picnic. and Collingwood have just had no one up there who was capable of kicking any goals. There's that bad knock to Matthew Ryan, but he doesn't look too bad. He could come back on the ground. Strong mark to Jason Dunstall, one of the top Hawthorn forwards. If he's not taking marks and kicking goals, there's always Dermot Brereton, Russell Morris, Peter Curran, Tony Hall, you name it. They've got plenty of class players up there on that forward line. There it is, an excellent kick from Jason Dunstall too, from about 40 metres out, right through the middle. But Collingwood have really tried hard in this opening stanza. There's the snap from Peter Curran. Excellent snap for goal. And we've got a pretty good game on our hands here. As I say, the only difference between the sides are forward lines at the moment.
Well, we're about to commence the second quarter here at VFL Park. Peter Howe about to bounce it. A big quarter, this one for the Magpies. They tried as hard as they could in that quarter. They really were desperate, but Hawthorn had just too much class. As Bernie said, that back line just too strong. They really need Dacos to fire and see the skills. But when the ball's been loose, Hawthorn have had those 2 and 3 players. There's Buckenara going in against Robertson. Tuddenham's on the ground to Atkins. Now, they come forward, Barwick. Oh, Manson and Barwick spoil each other. A bad hand pass. Here's a chance. As we see Michael Christian, a clever hand pass to Starcevic. Play on, said the umpire, and once again they swarm in after the ball, those hungry Hawks.
They messed it up completely, Peter, because in the end the bad handball from Christian to Starcevic, and then he ran into him. So they can't do anything right on that forward line.
Well, he tried one of those low hand passes because if it would have been smothered with one at normal height. There's Harding. Straight to Paul Hawke. There's a great shot at goal. Is it a goal? I think it is. What a goal, Paul Hawke.
Great snap for goal from Paul Hawke from about 45 metres out. Only had a chance for a quick look at the goals and let fly and put it right through. Had a very favourable bounce once it hit the goal square. There's the kick. Long kick for goal and bounces just right for him. And that's 1-1 to Paul Hawke. And playing pretty well for the Collingwood side.
Well, Harding tapped it straight to his hands, Drew.
He did, and he said thanks a lot. These fellows. Tuck going up to beat him that time. Must have been a pretty high leap by Michael Tuck. Bit of a mess there, and the umpire will ball it up. Jamie Turner, last man off the ground. And look at the pack around here. Well, the Magpies need to capitalise on that goal kicked by Paul Hawke. Bit of a chance for them here. That's Hawke again, getting the hand pass away to Krasisko going past. Up towards centre wing, offhands Robertson, the sprinter. Caught in that tackle, but he goes back for the ball. He did pretty well there. From North Adelaide is David Robertson. And it's amazing how the players with pace in Australia seem to come from everywhere but Victoria.
They certainly had a few pacey players in the State of Origin Carnival for South Australians. There's Paul Tuddenham there, Drew, and he's got one of the modern hairdos. I wonder if his dad, Des, would approve of that hairdo.
He'd have to look at it twice, wouldn't he? Wes Fellows up in front, helped on by Brown. Fellows might have given away the free kick. No whistle on that one. And the mark is taken by Barwick. Barwick from a long way out, bangs it up towards the forward line. Christian's there, has to go after it, after the spoil by Ayres. Further soccer out of defence and the ball out of play. Look at Ayres and Langford, the duo in defence. They are fantastic.
Poor old Manson was caught 30 metres behind. Then he's just come off the ball and a bit tired, I suppose. And Langford really thrashed him in that run for the ball. There's Ayres. Here's a great player, Buckenara. For Jamie Morrissey on the left foot. To half forward, Curran ducks back, but he's caught out of position. A nice mark to Gavin Krasisko. One of the young players from the under-19s that Collingwood has blooded. Certainly done the right thing. The pass finds Dacos. Now, Dacos not sure who to give this one to. The lead's made by Starcevic, but he elects to kick it over his head. Now, here's his Hawthorn defence from behind. Oh, well done, Manson. Tried to fist it on. Hand pass back to Swab, to Platten. Platten a hurry, kick to half forward, Curran in front. Oh, big fist away. Oh, here the Hawks, the ball comes loose to Tuck. Oh, lovely hand passes is where they're dangerous. Chris Whitman, Dunstall led, but as he's going to duck back, who's going to get there first? Dunstall in front against Morwood. Good play, Morwood, to put the pressure on and force the ball through for a behind.
Yes, it looked very dangerous there for Collingwood, but Shane Morwood did a good job to get his hand to the ball and knock it through for a behind.
Morwood goes towards the outer side, does it well to Turner. Collingwood looking to come infield as often as possible. That's pretty good coaching. It's the way to go. And here's a relayed free kick up the ground. And given away by Whitman, to be taken by Doug Barwick. Just behind the centre circle. Low zooming kick. Oh, too easy for Hawthorn. Morrissey takes the mark, finds Langford.
There's not enough movement in that Collingwood forward line at the moment. They're kicking to a great pack of players. They've got no chance of kicking goals when the forward line's as crowded as that.
Kick by Gowers didn't cover a lot of ground. Mullane gets it and goes 20 metres backwards. Finds Banks, who's been switched back into defence. Out towards centre wing, 2-1 Collingwood's favour here. Barwick taps. Oh, well done to keep the ball in play for Barwick. That was done by Kroll, and Kroll backs up. But his hand pass was to no one. Eventually they find the boundary line, but it's about 50 metres forward.
And also, I think, Bernie, you'd agree there were 3 or 4 Hawthorn players covering that ball then.
That's right. They've really backed up well tonight, Peter, as they always do.
Well, it's on half back for Hawthorn, half forward for Collingwood. That hand pass was from Condon, a very clever hand pass to Platten. In front of the pack was Loveridge, or Curran was thrown off the ball. Could have been a free kick to Curran then. Dacos brilliantly to Mullane. Here's a chance for the Magpies. It's a wobbly one, but it'll come off. Oh, dropped by Christian. Barwick was grabbed. Oh, 3 Hawthorn players got hold of him. That could be dropping the ball. Gee, they're letting it go, the umpires tonight. Tuddenham cleverly out to Robertson. He's caught. Now he threw the ball as well. The umpires really letting it go. Oh, there's Paul Hawke having a pot shot at goal. Chris Mew ducks back, can't get there, and the ball comes across the face of goal. I reckon there were 4 or 5 free kicks there, Bernie, for holding the ball.
There's a few doubtful ones there, Peter, I agree, but the umpire is, at least he's consistent.
Well, that's true. They were very consistent. They just let it go, and the crowd will love that, actually. There'll be plenty of action. Forward pocket for the Magpies. They need a goal. Morrissey tries to crash his way through. Langford's there, Platten's there. There's always 2 or 3 Hawthorn guys backing up. Out to Whitman, and Chris Whitman marks on half-back flank.
Down the outer wing he goes, too long for Curran. Hall pulled the ground, comes to Curran. He drives it to half forward, a sprint on here between Banks and Brereton. Banks still in heaps of trouble. Backed up by Morwood. He had to go the paddle. It comes to Banks. Pulled off his kick by Dunstall. A tackling full forward. It falls here for Gowers, who shoots for goal but misses to the left.
Very, very inexperienced, that Bernie, wasn't it?
Well, it looked like a forward playing a defender's role there, Peter, didn't it? Because he in no way should he have come back towards the centre of the ground. He should have tried however he could have to get it out to that outer flank.
Well, he had 2 men to give it to, too, in the square. He just panicked a little bit, as we see Banks. Kick wide. Oh, this is dangerous because Tuck leads in the race. The evergreen Tuck. He's got a loose man. Brereton's been given 50 metres here, and he marks on half forward. And the Hawks are looking very, very dangerous once they get it over the centre. Dermot Brereton, 1983 Premiership side, a great player. Now he kicks long. He's hooked it badly, and this could be out in the full. It is out in the full, said the boundary and goal umpires. And Alan Joyce wouldn't be impressed with that kick. Certainly should have set it up into the square. Harding from behind, the fist. They're a very disciplined side, Hawthorn. Turner ducks away. Still got the ball. Hand pass comes wide. It was meant for Dacos. Now Dacos got a paddock to run in. He gets it. Back to Robertson. Oh, good play, David Robertson and Dacos. Lovely hand pass. Barwick goes for the long kick. A chance here for Christian, who flies from behind. And a very good mark by Michael Christian. You'll have to kick from 50 metres. A drop punt from 50 metres. So the distance, he is a very accurate kick. No, he's going the short one. And intelligent play because Mick McGuan has moved into that hole there at centre-half forward and should certainly make the distance.
Yeah, good play there by Michael Christian. May have been struggling to make the distance from where he was kicking. But also Hawthorn were a little bit slack in their defence.
The kick by McGuan is a beautiful kick. Goal.
So Collingwood have kicked the only 2 goals for the quarter and have narrowed the margin to 9 points. Back in the centre, Harding wins the tap. Comes down to Condon. Now to Morris. Morris goes long with his kick in the direction of Brereton, who crunches down a teammate as he goes up to the mark. Great stuff by Krasiska underneath the pack. And eventually Turner towards the centre circle. All Collingwood. Front posse held. Starcevic, and he gets the free kick.
Not much in that, Pete, was there?
I thought it was a bit lucky, actually.
A bit lucky. Did the right thing getting in front, of course.
He kicks us with his booted foot, but the sock sees him stumble to the ground. There's a great diving mark taken out here by Andrew Gowers, who's had plenty of possession so far. Just over the wing he goes with his kick. Out pretty wide. Hall. Good play. Schwab finding Mew. All the way up from defence, Chris Mew. Puts it out in front of Dunstall. Good mark. How do you stop him?
That is a sensational mark. I don't think a lot of people wouldn't realise how difficult that mark was, Bernie.
No, because he was running full pace towards the ball, and it was a low trajectory kick. Here's that mark again. He does it by jumping just that little bit early and balancing himself in the air. But what a strong pair of hands he's got, Jason Dunstall.
Dunstall for his second goal. Just sneaks it home. So that's the Hawks' first goal for this quarter. And we've been playing about 11 minutes.
Well, they've had plenty of the action. I think you'd have to agree with that, but I think they've fallen for the old trap. They've got so many good players on that forward line, Bernie, that they tend to fly against each other now and again.
They do occasionally. That happened with Dermott and Curran over on that other side. But once they get that ball moving quickly up into the forward line, of course, they're very hard to stop.
And how badly Hawthorn missed Jason Dunstall last year in that grand final against Carlton. Centre of the ground, Darren Mullane, wide, Chris Mew against Barwick. Now Barwick should win that one for pace. He eventually does. Now he is a great kick of a football, Doug Barwick. That's a beautifully directed kick to Starcevic, and he finds him at half-forward flank. Now there's no one back in the goal square. Now Manson's getting back there. Langford's picked him up. A chance for the high flyers. Christian from behind. Couldn't quite take it. And that strong defence again. There they are backing up. Beautiful kick by Morrissey. Out to Gowers. A short one to Mew. And they really do back up magnificently, Hawthorn. Chris Mew, half-back flank. Fallows is on the ground. Goes for the mark. Couldn't take it. Tony Hall's there, the South Australian. Oh, cop one round the head. And no free kick. There's Brian Taylor. I wonder what Brian's thoughts are. He's out with injury. Michael Christian playing in his position at full forward. 7 minutes and 20 seconds to go in this quarter. Fallows into the back of Harding on that occasion. And it'll be a free kick to Paul Harding. Remembering he's not allowed, he certainly has to kick it. He's not allowed to handball it.
From the wing up towards centre half forward. Keys charges from Mullane, charges from behind Brereton to spoil. Platten bowled over by Mullane. Dacos, great play. And look at Platten, got him by the arm. Well, the umpires really have put the whistle away tonight. Banks crashes through Atkins. Well done, Dennis Banks. Beat a paddock full. Off to Atkins. Krasiska, good football, Collingwood. Oh, I don't know what Barwick was doing then. He's given it away. Hall to Loveridge. And back to Brereton. Oh, the defence whipped up the ground and left Brereton there. Wide to Buckenara. On 50. Cornered. Short pass. And a bit of a slip there for Hall. The umpire's going to ball that up. The Collingwood fans calling for holding the ball.
A correct decision here.
Yes,
no possible chance. They just
no chance
pounced on
whatsoever. But Doug Barwick, I don't know what he did there. He should have grabbed hold of that one. He was very lucky to get away with that.
Hawks in attack. Fellows wins it. Comes to Atkins. Close to the boundary line. Curls it around the arc. And eventually it goes out for a throw in at half forward for Hawthorn, who lead 4-4 to 2-1. And we've got just under 6 minutes remaining in the second term.
Well, these 5 or 6 minutes can really decide a game. It's important that Collingwood hang in there at the moment and not let Hawthorn take over. That'll certainly help them, a smother like that. But Morrissey's there for Hawthorn. Oh, gee, a touch of the fumbles. Back it comes. Oh, some strong play by Loveridge over to Tuck. He tucks in everything as usual. A high one to half forward. Curran's there. Sets himself. Couldn't take it. Backing up is there though. Curran chips it out looking for Johnny Platten. Platten was grabbed. Play on, said the umpire. Certainly no free kick there. Turner off the side of the boot. Harding, and look at Tuck. Is he a great player? Poor kick though, straight off the side of the boot. Lands with Krasiska. Krasiska out wide to Dacos. To Paul Hawke, who kicked a beautiful goal early in this quarter. He goes wide. This is a better run of play. This is Paul Tuddenham. Grabbed by Condon. Now, was it a free? No. Chris Mew got away very, very easily. Wide, and Dacos is all on his own here, and marks. Good backing up by Gavin Krasiska, who's playing a pretty good game down there in defence. Langford ducks back. Oh, that Hawthorn's, again, that strong defence. Schwab fisted away. Langford will probably head for the boundary line. No, he elects to give it to Condon. Condon the Buckenara. Look at the backing up. Loveridge. There's 4 or 5 options there. Oh, gee, it's grabbed. Could have been a free kick. Morris. They've overdone it, Hawthorn. They really have the run of play there, and now umpire belatedly has found a free kick. I think there was one earlier, Bernie, for holding the man.
Could have been, Peter. I think Russell Morris well and truly played for that one, though.
Morris to centre half forward. Brereton.
Oh, that's a free kick for Collingwood, surely.
To McGuan.
Put his body in, Drew.
Michael McGuan from Sebastopol and played in the under-19s premiership team season before last. Starcevic drops this mark, picked up by Morris. Round in a big arc, up towards half forward. Brereton with a run at them and a leap. Couldn't take the mark. Oh, the umpire paid it. Well, sometimes they've been slow with the whistle. I think he might have been a bit quick with it then. Loveridge. Off the left boot up towards Dunstall, charging at it. Morwood's got him, flings him to the turf. No whistle. Platten back to Dunstall. They're just coming in droves, but it's all Collingwood back in the goal square, and the mark taken by Wes Fellows. Goes towards the outer side, going in short, and they've got something here, Collingwood. Turner put under pressure, whipped away by Russo. Harding back to Russo. Under pressure, but he picked out Morris, who was metres in the clear.
Just a little bit of inexperience by Collingwood there, Peter, because he tried to do something with the ball before he'd taken possession of it.
Well, they're fiddling around a bit, Hawthorn, though, at the moment. They're controlling the ball, but they're just a little bit of fancy Dan stuff, and it's not coming off. Collingwood hanging in there. Was that a free kick to Hawke? No. The umpire's really letting it go, and it's creating a real spectacle, and the crowd are loving it. 2 minutes, and there's
Peter Mitchell.
Oh, Peter Mitchell, yes.
7 newsreader here in Melbourne on weekends.
Well, 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go.
You'll be pleased to know he's a Collingwood fan, Pete.
There's plenty of them. There's Platten cleverly out the hall. Over there, kicked away for Hawthorn on that occasion by Condon, and there's a mark to Dunstall. Too strong, too good, and this could be a very, very handy goal with 2 minutes to go to half-time. He's already kicked 2, Jason Dunstall. But I think this was inevitable as we see the mark.
Just shows how strong he is, doesn't it, Peter, that mark?
Well, he's right in front and shouldn't miss this for his 3rd goal. Bang! And he's kicked.
So with just under a minute and a half remaining in this second quarter, the Hawks steadying again, and a positional change, and Morwood's been moved away from Jason Dunstall. Starcevic down there. There's Tuddenham. Unmistakable with the haircut. Collingwood free kick, and it goes to Paul Tuddenham. He gets a lead out wide. Manson, almost. Roving Barwick. He backs himself and sprints away from them. Goes for the pass rather than the goal. Christian. They're outnumbered here, Collingwood, but Christian might do it all himself. Offline and a behind.
Well, I think Doug Barwick should have had a shot at goal there. It was a very unselfish play on his behalf, but he was only 40 metres out. He's a very good kick for goal. And Michael Christian had a Hawthorn player breathing down his neck. He could have really just about put that one through Doug Barwick without too many problems.
Well, he's a long kick, isn't he? And 24 seconds to go. I wonder if they can score a goal. The way Hawthorn play, I wouldn't be surprised, Drew.
He was no hurry to put the ball back into play, Gary Ayres. It's in Collingwood's forward zone. But here go the Hawks. Morrissey out wide. He goes to Gowers. Up towards centre wing. Turner. Good mark. I think they've run out of time to get it from the wing to the goal. Certainly have. They'll hardly even kick the ball before the siren. He fooled about with it a bit. And that's half-time here at VFL Park. And after Collingwood got the first couple of goals in that quarter, the Hawks steadied and got the last two. Hawthorn 5-4-34, leading Collingwood 2-14. Well, they're still going pretty well, Collingwood, but Hawthorn, even if their players are a bit, well, sore and sorry for themselves after the Bicentennial Carnival, what a great depth of talent they've got.
They have got great talent. It'll be interesting, Bernie, to see if they tie, because they've had a lot of football, those Hawthorn guys, over the carnival.
McDermott, he's bleeding again from the mouth. But, you know, the young and fit players, Peter, they should come up fairly fresh after a 4 or 5 day break. You know, they're so fit, they train 5 nights a week just about during the pre-season. And I can't see why they shouldn't come up fresh after a 4-day break.
Well, I really felt that quarter, Bernie, that they fiddled around. They fiddled around a little bit too much with the ball, the Hawks.
Yes, they did. They may have got a little bit fancy, but I think the pressure from Collingwood had a lot to do with that.
So Hawthorn, who led by 19 points at quarter time, now lead by 20 at half time. 5-4 to the Magpies, 2-2. We'll be back with you shortly. Welcome back to VFL Park. In that quarter, Hawthorn kicking 2-2 to Collingwood 2-1. So the 20-point margin at half-time was after the 19-point margin at quarter time. Well, a regular feature of our football telecast this season will be Scott Palmer, and here he is again with his punchlines.
Good evening, welcome to Punchlines. Next Wednesday is D-Day, when the clubs have to reduce their numbers to 50 on the senior list, and most will have an average of 8 to drop. One player looks certain to take the fall is former Richmond ruckman Tim Barling, who hasn't been able to get a post with the Sydney Swans. Carlton is strongly denying rumours concerning Wayne Harms, and laughed at rumours too that John Dorothy's position is under review. Football buffs also are convinced that the spending spree of the Brisbane Bears isn't over yet. They are continuing to eye Martin Leslie, the fullback from Adelaide. Melbourne coach John Northey and his cohorts will make another trek up the Goulburn River to try and coax Russell Richards back to town. Old man River Richards prefers to just keep rippling along. Hawthorn has provided 2 ready-made recruits for rival clubs. Russell Shears has been put on the Bulldog list today, and Jamie Bennett on the Lions. And here's the latest football trend. Custom-made, laminated, save as our bank, comfortable mouthguards in your own club colours. They come from America and will be the VFL craze this season. Here's one for the Swans, one for Carlton, and a green one for the state selectors so envious of South Australia. Back to you, boys, and keep punching.
A great idea, the coloured mouthguards. Good on you, Scotty Palmer, with his weekly punchlines. We can take you down to the Collingwood rooms now, and here's Peter Donegan.
Thanks, Drew. Well, down here in the Collingwood rooms at the moment, Lee Matthews has his players behind closed doors, and you could almost feel the frustration with the Magpies when they came in here at half-time, knowing that their tackling had been so good. Their forward line almost non-existent in the first quarter, got a bit better in the second quarter, but they're still sadly lacking rovers. Now, over behind me at the moment, the discussion is much the same with a few of the Collingwood boys who aren't playing tonight. Glenn Howard is over there, Ronnie McEwen, Mick Gafer, and no doubt they're hoping that the Collingwood boys can put the score on the board in the second half. Lee Matthews is telling them just that at the moment, and if their endeavour, Drew, is anything to go by, I think we'll see a better effort from the Magpies.
Well, I think so. The margin just 20 points, and you can catch that up pretty quickly in modern football. And of course, the third and fourth quarters, 25 minutes plus time on. We'll be back with the halftime summary from Peter McKenna and Bernie Quinlan after this short break.
Hawthorn's champion centre-half forward Dermot Brereton has been afforded one of football's ultimate compliments, to be compared with a footballing legend of days gone by. Recruited from Frankston Rovers, Brereton's high marking, long kicking and overall brilliance have stamped him as arguably the best in his position since the great Royce Hart of Richmond. The kid who made his senior debut in 1982 is one of that rare breed who can lift a team all by himself.
Great to watch Dermot Brereton when he's on the go. Well, he played the first half in the black boots. I wonder whether he'll come out with the coloured boots after half-time. He does it quite often. But I'd just like to throw a question to these 2-century goal kickers here. What about Jason Dunstall? Now, you've both kicked 100. You know what it takes. Has he got the qualities to kick 100?
Well, he kicked 90-odd last year, didn't he, Peter? He's a very unselfish player. He probably could have kicked 100 or so if he hadn't given so many away the way he did.
Well, certainly you and I wouldn't have given him many away as what Dunstall has, as we see the highlights of that first half. And you can see Gary Ayres, we actually went off the ground with a wrist injury. Matty Ryan, they've missed him round the packs his pace because they've been thrashed round the packs, Loveridge and Platten. But there's Dunstall. Talk about full forwards. He really is an unselfish player. A bit of frustration by Lee Matthews then, because, Bernie, I think you'd agree, the Collingwood really threw it up to them and gave them heaps, but just a little bit of class by Hawthorn.
They did, Peter. Well, you've got Dunstall at full forward, you know, with his 3 goals out of 5. You've got Dermot Brereton at centre-half forward, a top-class player. And there's Curran snapping one over his shoulder. They've got so many good players up on that forward line, whereas Collingwood have got it down on that half-forward line and fallen down on just about every occasion.
Well, they started off with Craig Starcevich, Collingwood at centre-half back. He couldn't handle Brereton at all, and yet he looked like being a top centre-half forward last year.
Yes, that's right. I thought he was a good player at centre-half forward last year, but they've had trouble in both key defence positions because they've also moved Morwood away from Dunstall. There's a good mark for the full forward, Michael Christian. And he could be a good prospect for full forward. Brian Taylor should be a little bit worried at this stage.
Yes, and well, let's have a look at the stats. Now, kicks, well, not a lot in that, just in favour of Hawthorn. Marks, well, again in favour of Hawthorn. Free kicks, well, the umpires have really let it go. Handballs, Hawthorn a great running side. The typical number of handballs there, 52. Hit-outs, surprising. Harding doing pretty well there. He's not a tall ruckman. Well, 50-metre penalties, virtually nothing. And shots at goal, well, that tells the story. The forward line, stats aren't all that much as far as difference, Bernie, but the ball's on that forward line more often because the Hawthorn defence do so well the way they back up.
Yeah, exactly, Pete.
Thanks, Peter and Bernie. Well, I wonder what's been going on in the Hawthorn rooms with Alan Joyce down there. Here's Dixie Marshall.
Drew, there's a real upbeat sort of calmness about him. Well, it's not calm anymore. The boys have just come out from behind closed doors, very hyped up. Alan Joyce had them in there for about 5 minutes, and his main points that there weren't enough pressure, there was too much scrappy disposal, there was not enough backup. He wants his boys to pull his socks up, and if you have a close look, Drew, they're new socks.
Actually, we noticed the new socks. I was wondering where the hoops had gone. I was wondering whether I'd gone mad, but they're playing in the plain gold socks tonight. OK, thank you, Dixie, for that report from the Hawthorn room. Pretty rowdy down there. They sound revved up, the Hawks. As you can see, they're coming back onto the ground. We'll be back for the start of the second half after this. A reminder that on Saturday night on 7 you can see the 4th quarter final in the Panasonic Cup between Essendon, who got a bye through the first round because they played in the grand final last year, against the West Coast Eagles, who whipped the Swans in the first round by nearly 100 points. You can see it live here on Saturday night. And now we start the second half here with the Hawks leading by 20 points, 5 goals 4 to the Magpies, 2 goals 2. And Collingwood straight away off into the business. Through Perkins, up towards full forward. Christian takes the mark. Oh, he's playing on and slipped. That's a new way to muck things up. Barwick hooks back for goal and misses to the right.
Well, what an opportunity that was for Collingwood. Christian, the ground is fairly lush out there.
Might have turned
he's
an ankle.
limping a little bit, but the surface is very lush. They could even be, most of the players should be wearing long screw-in stops instead of the moulded soles tonight.
You just cannot afford to do that against a side like Hawthorn. Gee, Morris should have taken that mark as the ball is kicked out wide. Barwick, here's a chance. Here's a great kick of a football. He lines up the goals, but he's hooked it. And a couple of bad misses by the Magpies. It could have really put a bit of pressure on Hawthorn. But bad forward play, 5-4 to 2-4, but at least they are attacking. 3 goals the difference. And they certainly can't afford to let Hawthorn get the next 2 or 3 goals, or it'll be, I think, shut the gate. Collingwood must score the first 1 or 2 goals in this quarter. Gowers, the former Xavier College boy, to Morris. Over the back was Russo. Graham Atkins hooks it. It's all Hawthorn, and there's only one man who actually went for that, and that was Condon. Anthony Condon played a magnificent game against the Brisbane Bears here a few Sundays ago. Gee, Brereton was shoved out there, and the umpire right onto that. He's proved a real handful for Collingwood tonight. Craig Starcevich hasn't been able to hold him, and now Dennis Banks has the job. There's Peter Russo. Oh, nearly a mark. No, said the umpire. Curran picks it up, hooks it. Loveridge takes front posse. Hall is there. Oh, knocks it away. Beautiful play, Dunstall to Russo, and Russo slams it goal, and he's kicked it.
Yeah, great forward play by the Hawks. Look at the difference between the two sides. Collingwood had it up there on a couple of occasions. 2 fairly easily opportunities to kick goals, and all of a sudden Hawthorn have got it down there. Quick knock on to Peter Russo, and an easy goal to Hawthorn, and that's the difference between the two sides. Just Collingwood cannot convert, and Hawthorn do it easy when they get it down to that forward line.
Well, we talked at half-time about the unselfish play of Dunstall, and even then, Drew, another little knock-on resulting in a goal.
Yes, it was great. 40-16 now. Fellows wins in the middle. Making it hard for Dacos, though. But Hawke threads out a hand pass to Brown, who spins out of a tackle. Ooh, crunching through Morrissey with his elbow up. Harding out of the middle. Hall. Great pair of hands, this boy. That's a mark.
Gee, he took some sensational marks in the State of Origin matches, didn't he?
Didn't he?
Particularly one.
From 65 metres out. Dunstall pushed out. Hawks have it going goalwards, though. Oh, Brereton goes in with a fierce tackle. Loveridge. Look at Brereton in fighting for the ball, and he has gone the coloured boots in the second half, too. The umpire's going to ball this up. Well, in the last year or two, I'd like to know the number of goals he's kicked in the black boots against the number of goals in the coloured boots. He seems to go better after half-time in the colours. Here's a push. Hawthorn free kick to Curran.
Foolish free kick, wasn't it, Bernie?
Yes, you've got to be very careful in those situations, Peter. So close to goal, you've got to just make sure you don't give away those free kicks. Curran did it well, though. He positioned his body against the bigger player, Fellows, and he knew that he was positioning his body just in between the ball and Fellows, and of course Fellows crashed into him.
Now Peter Curran pretty close to the boundary line, but we'll get a good view of this. Slightly to the left, and brings up a behind. Well, Collingwood will breathe a sigh of relief. They didn't want 2 goals kicked at the start of the quarter against them. Now it's just 1-1, but it's still 6 goals 5 to 2-4. And still plenty for the Magpies to do. Morwood back at fullback.
And Hawthorn manning up beautifully as Morwood kicks in. He looks for Fellows. Now, Harding from behind. A very disciplined player, Harding. Gavin Brown under pressure. Gets in a hand pass. That was to Dacos, who really has got brilliant skills. To David Robertson. Now, Ayres from behind, but he's beaten for that one beautifully by Christian. Christian to Mullane. Here's a chance for the Magpies. Mullane centres the ball. Oh, pushing the back. No, said the umpire. Langford. Is that a free kick to Barwick? No, as Barwick gives it to Starcevic. He hooks it back. Is it a goal? No, it's offline and it's 1 point. So they've had plenty of chances, but they just haven't got the players up there to kick the goals. 4 goals the difference. 6-5 plays 2-5. Gary Ayres. Wide. Now, the big fly from behind was by Brereton, but Manson just held his ground. Over to Dacos. Beautiful pass to Starcevic, starting to come into the game, and to watch the use of the ball by Dacos, Bernie, is an absolute delight.
He's got tremendous ground skills. I'd say he'd be the most skilled player at ground level that I've seen for a long time, Peter Dacos.
I wouldn't argue with that. Craig Starcevic, they badly want this goal, the Magpies. They've had it down there a number of times. I think he's missed again. And this is poor shooting for goal. And only one behind. 2-6 plays 6-5. You need to get goals against this side.
Barwick's kicked 2 behinds and Starcevic 2.
Here's out wide. Condon from behind. Oh, Robertson with great pace kicks it long, but again it's wide. So that's another behind. So there he is, David Robertson. Had to stand out for a year. Lee Matthews not happy with that forward play, but at least they are showing something and they're doing plenty of the attacking.
That's 5 behinds this quarter to the Magpies. Straight up the ground, Morris in front. Good punch away by Hawke. Christian wide to Mullane. 70 metres out, short pass too high for Barwick. Comes through the back and through Starcevic it goes. Schwab clears to Platten. And up short of centre wing. Great kick by Platten. Gowers, number 16 for the Hawks. Left it behind him. Picked up by Paul Hawke. Wide to Mullane. Fair distance with that kick. Diving attempted mark. Not quite the Fellows. Great little hand pass to Barwick. Up towards the goal square. Open for Christian. Gap closing. But he's got it. Well, Michael Christian eventually getting on the scoreboard with a goal. And that gap was closing pretty quickly towards the end. Look at Morrissey. Great chase by him. Didn't have much to shoot at, even though he wasn't far out, but a great goal nevertheless.
Well, they and he's hobbling, and they really deserve that one, Bernie.
It was a clever kick by Doug Barwick, wasn't it? He was being grabbed and chased by Johnny Platten, and he just did that little chip kick over to Christian.
Well, Collingwood really showing something in this quarter. Let's see if they can get another one. Dacos caught with the ball, a bit lucky to get that one. Umpire said too high. It was a strong tackle by two Hawthorn players then, but they're into attack. It's a booming kick, a 70-metre kick. Punched away by Langford, but the crumb getters there. Oh, two Collingwood players stood there. Robertson and Brown. Here's Perkins. The Magpies really starting to show something now. Let's see if they can go on with it. Brilliant play, Dacos. Play on, said the umpire. The Hawks under pressure. Buckanara to Condon. Condon wide. He's looking out there for Gowers. And it beats young Andrew Gowers over the line. But the Hawks under a lot of pressure in this quarter. Bit of tension on the face of Alan Joyce. The Magpies really have come out fighting hard. Harding against Fellows. Fellows over the back. Paul Hawke dragged off the ball. Tuck to Buckanara. Touch of the fumbles. Hand pass to Platten. They've always got two or three men running past. To centre of the ground. The big fly was by Manson. Oh, crashing his way through was McGuan. Robertson's there also. Could have been holding the ball. No, said the umpire, and he will bounce it almost in the centre of the ground.
They've really lifted the Magpies. They've kicked 1-5 this quarter to Hawthorn, 1-1. And Starcevic beats Harding. It comes to Tuck. He's kicked up and down the one spot, just about, barely covering 10 metres. They crunch in after it. It comes to Morrissey, who gets out of the starters' blocks and sprints away. Out to Harding. Long kick off the left boot. Up to the 50. Brereton one touch. And a second touch for a mark. What a mark.
He is a great player.
Too far out to score. He looks for Dunstall outnumbered 2-1. Oh, Morwood left it behind for Morris, and Morris goes bang and kicks it.
47 plays 25, and the Hawthorn supporters have breathed a sigh of relief then, because the Magpies were starting to get a run on. They must punch from behind if you're on the back line, and it cost them a goal. Dacos is showing brilliant skills tonight again. Towards half forward to go. Strong play, the Magpies, but there's Tuck. He's playing one of the better men on the ground for the Hawks. Out wide to Loveridge. He's had a good night too. A left foot kick. Hall from behind for Hawthorn. He's got plenty of fellas. In fact, it was young Gowers to help him. Here he is, Tony Hall. Kicks it long, and the pressure on the Magpies again. Russell Morris, centre of the pack. It's punched away. John Platten's there to grab it, and the little fella's going to hook it wide. He's got Peter Russo. Russo waits underneath it, smothers it beautifully, still playing the ball in front of him. Was he tripped? No, said the umpire, and the ball beats him over the line. He looks up to see what happened. Bit of a few congratulatory pats then from Peter Curran and the Hawks. Let's see if they can get into another gear. We've seen them do it time and time again. 7-5, 3-7. Half forward for Hawthorn. Hall to Morris. Morris a high one, and that's straight off the side of the boot and out of bounds on the full.
Well, the Hawks have had 12 scoring shots to 10, but in this quarter just 3 to 6. Now Jamie Turner from half-back flank. Finished second amongst Collingwood players in the Brownlow count last year. That's a fine mark by Manson. He can certainly mark overhead, this Tasmanian. Off he goes to Robertson. Robertson long off the left boot. Christian is there with Ayres. Chance here for Christian. Well done. But Ayres gets support from Schwab. Morrissey comes back to Ayres a bit luckily, but he earned a kick then. Back to centre wing. All Collingwood. Manson again. No trouble. Gee whiz. Ball came in a bit late. Off to Dacos. Opening up here for Collingwood. And a big chance. McGuan goes out wide to Starcevic on the 50. Oh, he's dropped a sitter and left it for Michael Tuck. Well, the two East Perth players, Starcevic and Christian, have both done that this quarter and mucked up what looked like certain goals. And now here's Curran centre wing.
Well, you can't make mistakes like that against Hawthorn. There's the pass, centre of the ground, Condon. Very promising player, Anthony Condon. He kicks wide. There's two men there to give it to. Over the back as Morris, but there was a push out. It will go Collingwood's way. The umpire, a beautiful view of that one from side on. Russell Morris not happy with it, but Jason Kroll, or was it? No, Jamie Turner actually was pushed out. Turner from centre half back. 2-on-1 again. They really do that well, Hawthorn. There's Dacos shoveling the ball away. Ball comes wide to Gavin Brown. Clever skills. A high one to half forward. Tuck Chance for young Perkins, who hasn't done a lot tonight. Now it's big Wes Fellows to Perkins. Hand pass, a lovely one to go. Darren Mullane. Here's a chance for the Magpies as Mullane fires, and finally it's another goal.
Well, that was a great run by Mullane to give Perkins the lead, and he capped it off with a beautiful straight kick. Something Collingwood have badly needed this quarter. Comes to Dacos, knocking up, getting kicks. Up towards half forward. Backhanded punch away. Collingwood charging straight at the ball this term. Perkins again, but too high for Hawke. It's taken by Buckenara. Out towards the wing he goes to Morris. Seems to have had plenty of kicks out in the open. Morris high to half forward. Hall camped underneath it. Big punch away, covers 40 metres. Goes Collingwood's way to Turner. Oh, good football, good vision. McGuan. Bad kick off the left boot. Abbott gets it to Loveridge. He's caught, holding the ball. Fierce tackling by the Magpies.
Aren't they keen, this Collingwood side, Peter?
Oh, they're having a
really
real red-hot go, and it's a great performance, this. It's a free kick, too, to Dacos. They're looking good. Off he goes. He's got terrific skills. He kicks long. Langford under pressure now. It's a mark! Oh, no, said the umpire. But it might be a goal anyway. By Starcevic it is, and thoroughly deserved. Oh, boy, I thought that was a definite mark. 7-5 to 5-7, only 10 points the difference. I'd like to see that in replay again. It looked a mark, but Starcevic, have a look at this, Bernie.
Yes, well, there's been a couple paid the other way, but I think Fellows held that just as long, but it didn't matter anyway because Starcevic whipped in there and kicked the goal. And I think Fellows has had a little bit of height and strength up on that forward line.
Well, they're a different side now. The Magpies, it's a Hawthorn that are under pressure. 47 plays, 37. Now it'll be interesting. A lot of these Hawthorn players have had a lot of football in the past week. It'll be interesting to see if they can finish on because they're, at the moment, Collingwood taking it right up to the Hawks in a very impressive display. And here they come again. Darren Mullane, Jamie Turner, they've really lifted these young players. Gavin Brown, beautiful football to keep the ball in front of him. The Hawks under enormous pressure. Here comes Gavin Brown's kick, looking for Christian, he nearly took it too. Gowers, and no one's Condon in fact. Oh, hand pass by McGuan, but the umpire will come in and bounce it at half forward for Collingwood. And the temper's starting to get a little bit frayed now, and as Hawthorn realise they've got a real fight on their hands.
Yes, umpire Gavin Dorr had to step between a couple of players then. Well, it looks like Lee Matthews has given them a real rev at half-time. And the youngsters coming up with the goods now. Starcevic wins the tap. Comes to Hawke. He's still got it in front of him, 40 metres out. Centering kick. Chopped off by Ayres. You'd like to have him in your back line, wouldn't you? Is that a mark? He's gone 10 metres and is paid. McGuan on the forward line. Like to step that one out.
Well, they're very satisfied. Look, that was by up there in the stands by Lee Matthews, and Ronnie Richards was in front of him, young Mickey McGuan. It's a long way out, though. He'll have to kick from about 50 metres, Drew.
Well, he kicked a goal in the second quarter from about 40. Looks pretty good. Just floats away to the right. It was bad luck. They needed another one there. 9 points the difference. And Collingwood outscoring the Hawks in this quarter. They trailed by 20 at half-time. Gowers, good spoil by Brown. Great hand pass, Morrissey out to Condon. And good running by Hawthorn out of defence. Schwab off to Collins. Curran, might have been a free kick there, not paid. Francisca. Manson. You're under pressure, Robertson. He knows it. Brown somehow gets a kick in, and long and high to centre half forward. The spoil comes from Mew, and the kick out from Mew. Turner charging at it with Buckenara. That's good play, beautiful play there by Kroll. And now Hawke. Did he steal it? Starcevic? Play on. Yes, he didn't have first touch, and the umpire will ball it up.
Well, this is a terrific game of football now. This Hawthorn are really starting to have a fair dinkum go themselves. Not that they weren't early, but they're certainly going a bit harder now because they realise that they were just going in second gear, and now they have to really put in. Now, was that a throw? No. Tuck. This is where they're dangerous when they get that loose man going. Buckenara to Dunstall. Oh, that was beautiful, but Brereton's got it. He lines up. He fires. It floats back. Oh, it could be in. It could be a goal. Yes, a great goal to Dermot Brereton.
Well, 15 points the difference. It could nearly have been 15 points the other way, because this quarter Collingwood have kicked 3-6 to the Hawks, 3 goals, 1. Charged straight through the middle then. Perkins got it going Collingwood's way. Look at the desperation being shown there. Hawke hurriedly on the left boot. Platten fumbles an awkward half volley. Brown. Dacos is there.
Oh!
In went Peter Dacos, and Brown was at the bottom of the pack. Picked up by Turner. And Starcevic, oh, he's dropped another one. Absolute sitter. Morris is back there to help out the defence. And Dacos and Collins not the best of friends at the moment.
Well, I think Lee Matthews would be absolutely rapt to see that aggression then, Bernie, by Peter Dacos.
Oh, he's a must in this Collingwood side for them to have any chance this year, Peter.
Well, it's at half forward for the Magpies. Hawthorn are really having a red-hot go now. They're a bit of shepherding then, but the umpire there, what's happened?
Must be 50.
Is it a report or 50 metres? It's 50 metres, and this will take him right down in front of goal, Gavin Brown. And young Gavin Brown has been a real find for Collingwood. An excellent game in the last one. Let's see what happened.
The book's out.
Yes, he's reported for that, probably for, and it's 50 metres. And is it another 50 as well? Now that probably would be for unduly rough play or something like that, or time wasting, or...
I'm not sure it's Loveridge. I've got an idea it might be Turner, because Mullane is the one who's complaining, not anybody from Hawthorn.
Well, Turner might have come in after the event. But look at this. Gavin Brown's been taken down. Alan Joyce will not be happy with that undisciplined play because...
Well, it's foolish, wasn't it, Peter? There's no need for it at all.
Right down in front of goal, Gavin Brown, and he pops it through for a goal to the Magpies. Well, back they come. They can't. The Hawks can't get away. 53 plays 44. That's only 9 points now, the difference, and this has been Collingwood's quarter without a doubt.
Oh, they've been fantastic this quarter, Peter. They've just really led Hawthorn to the ball right from the start of the quarter, and they kicked 5 points there at the start of the quarter. If they had a kick straight, it could have been a different story up at this stage, but they've really had a go at it. They're really looking a good side.
Well, 8-5 plays 6-8.
Just had the attendance, 17,433, the best attendance this year at the Panasonic Cup.
Well, that's great news, and not surprising with Collingwood playing. 8 minutes and 40 seconds to go. A look at the courage by Gavin Brown. Then he copped one for his corner right across the ear. And he is a great find, this young player. Towards half forward, up they go. Oh, gee, could have been a free kick round the neck to Collingwood. There's Abbott on the ground. Hawthorn have made a couple of changes. There's Christian to Atkins. Back it comes to Christian, smothered off the boot. Hawthorn desperately defending. Chris Mew, Gavin Brown, Peter Russo. In he goes again, little Gavin Brown. Good play by the young fella. Kicks it off the ground to Paul Hawke. Hand pass to Atkins. Oh, tuck. Gee, that's beautiful defence that by Hawthorn. Condon, wide to Russo. This is where they're dangerous, the Hawks. Tony Hall, no mark. It comes wide to Mullane against Morrissey. Morrissey looking tired. Good play by Mullane. Hooks it out to Jason Kroll. Beautiful backing up. Wide. Oh, it's hip and shoulder by Abbott, but the man in front has really lifted his game. Is Craig Starcevic, and an emotionless Lee Matthews there, but he must be pretty proud of the boys at the moment, Drew.
Well, they're really giving him a top showing. Starcevic from a long way out. It's close. They like it. Oh, it didn't miss by a lot.
Oh. Would that have lifted them?
Starcevic has kicked 1 goal 3. And look at that, 15 shots to 13. But they still trail by 8 points. The short kick in goes to Russo. And back to Ayres. Now, Collingwood used 16 first-year players last year, and I spoke to Lee Matthews today. He said, if you'd been at Collingwood last year, you'd have got a game. But I'll tell you, these kids have come from the under-19s, have matured, and they could be the future for Collingwood, no doubt about it. Into Atkins. Oh, and lots of space on the far side. Big chance here for Barwick. He can kick it a mile. It's good.
Well, Alan Joyce looks a very worried man. There's 6 minutes and 40 seconds to go in this quarter. And the difference is now 2 points in favour of the Hawks. this next 5 and 6 minutes could very well decide the game. A great performance this by Collingwood. I thought they were battling at half-time. I really did. I thought they were making too many mistakes, but they're really having a red-hot go. Hawthorn under enormous pressure at the moment. And there's a free kick to Collingwood, and the breaks will go your way when you get a run on. Dacos has been brilliant in this quarter. They're slipping and sliding down there on the forward line, Collingwood. Mew, a very tired-looking Chris Mew, tried to kick it off the ground. Peter Schwab goes in to lend a hand. But this has been a terrific performance. But don't write off the Hawks yet, because they are a very professional side, and they'll fight it right out. At 5 minutes and 50 seconds plus another quarter to go, and we're seeing a red-hot game. It's been a great game all night. Michael Tuck has probably been Hawthorn's best player on the night. Wide to Loveridge. Loveridge has fumbled a little bit, but has had a lot of possessions. There's Dermot Brereton. Down to James Morrissey. Morrissey on the left foot. He's got Buckenara, courageously ducks back. Now, Dunstall's there. He's made the lead. He's ignored, and the kick has gone straight to Tony Hall in the forward pocket. Now, he's only 30 metres out from goal on a very, very acute angle. But he kicked a lovely goal before, Bernie.
He's a very good kick for goal, Peter. Tight angle, but not an impossible shot for goal from that pocket.
And I'll tell you what, the Hawks really need this one to stem the tide, because it's been Collingwood's quarter. And listen to those Collingwood fans booing. There's the kick by Hall. It looks pretty good off the boot. This is very close. It's a goal. No, it's a point. I thought he put up the two fingers. But it's a point. 54 plays 51, and the Collingwood fans breathe a sigh of relief.
Just under 5 minutes remaining in the quarter. Oh, it's an excellent mark taken by Abbott. Just outside the 50. He's looking for something in short. Brereton gives him a lead. Has to double back. Dunstall charges at it.
Oh.
They might have beaten each other to it and spoiled each other. Comes to Kroll. This is good play. Morwood. Chance for the Magpies. A goal will put him in front. Mullane. Back to Morwood, who's covered a lot of ground. Good pass to centre half forward. Christian. Straight through him, though. Oh, well done, Perkins. Off the ground, doesn't cover a lot of distance. Goes Brown's way. What a quarter he's had. Inside half forward. Juggled mark. Comes to Barwick, who kicked that monster. He's got another chance. Nobody back there, but he's offline with it. And bounces into the behind post for a throw-in.
Well, it's deep in that forward pocket, but we saw down the other end of the ground again Hawthorn, as I said earlier in the game, at times 3 and 4 players flying against each other for marks proved very, very costly. There's big Wes Fellows getting it down to the ground. Platten hasn't had a good night, Johnny Platten's only been a fair player. He's had a free kick. No, said the umpire. Here's a chance for Robertson, a flying pot shot at the goals, but he's put it out of bounds on the full. The next goal could be a very, very important one. It could take Collingwood to the front. There's the Collingwood interchange bench. Gary Ayres.
Don't some of them look like babies? And I suppose that's fair enough when you consider that Keys is just 17. Started his league career as a 16-year-old. They are babies, aren't they?
Well, they've really got a future, Collingwood. Abbott, his second good mark in this quarter. Oh, he played on stupidly. He's put himself under pressure. Kicked off the ground, but straight to Jamie Turner. The lead's made by Michael Christian. Langford from behind, the fist. Oh, there he is again, Langford, helping him his tuck. Now, is that holding the ball?
Tried to get rid of it. Yes.
Is it holding the ball? I thought he was going to pay it.
Yeah.
I reckon the umpire was... I reckon the umpire was set to signal holding the ball.
I'm sure he was too. He made no attempt to get rid of that one.
Well, it's right in front of the Collingwood goal. Starcevich doing the ruck work. The Hawks dive in after it. Kicked off the ground. Back it comes to centre of the ground. Darren Mullane, a little chip pass across, and this could be handy as the mark has been taken by Gavin Brown, who's had an excellent quarter. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go in this quarter as Brown from centre half forward. A beautiful looking drop punt. He's hooked it slightly. Is it a mark? Or is it a mark, I think? To mark the big Wes Fellows. Now, he will have to come right round on the boundary line, I would think. And he is a left foot kick, we must remember.
A bit optimistic there, I think, Wes going.
No, he's still got to go right round. He's got to go right round nearly to the line there, big Wes. He's still got to go round, almost out of bounds.
Oh, it's an impossible angle for him.
Now, he is a left footer. Now, he might try a banana kick here. He's going for it. Oh, this will bring down the rafters if he kicks it. It's a good attempt. I think he's kicked it. Oh, the Magpies hit the front.
What did I say? It was an impossible angle, Peter. Fantastic. What a goal from Big Wes Fellows. Great mark in the goal square. A little bit slack on the Hawthorn defenders' behalf because they should have really gone for the punch. They probably thought it was going through for a point. But just goes to show you just have to make sure that it's over that line and punched over that line and punched hard. There's the mark again. I'm sure they thought it was going through for a point, but Big Wes Fellows is about 6'7". Oh. How's that for a kick?
Well, when things are going for you, everything goes for you, Drew. I think you'd agree, and that was a great kick for goal.
What a kick it was, and the Magpies have hit the front. They lead by 3 points. They're still charging in after it. That was Manson. Tuck at the bottom of the pack. It'll be a Hawthorn free kick, and they need to steady. Mew, just under a minute and a half remaining for the quarter. Mew's kick short of half forward. Brown underneath that one. Morrissey. Never get an easy possession, but a bit behind the play here. Here's Banks and Brereton. Two fiery individuals in the VFL. A free kick to Banks. Now, Collingwood have got to work it pretty quickly. Just over a minute remaining for the quarter. Banks up towards half forward. Good lead by Starcevic. Oh, he's dropped another sitter. He made it awkward for his teammates. Atkins.
How many's that he's dropped? About 3 or 4 sitters tonight, Starcevic.
Schwab. Short pass to Buckenara. Now the Hawks might hit the lead again before half-time. High to Dunstall. You'd have to back him. Or sandwiched out of it. Kroll, number 8, did well to keep that ball in there. Time may run out. 45 seconds remaining for the term. I mentioned Gavin Brown. What a quarter he's had. 7 kicks, 2 hand passes for this quarter.
Well, his last game he played for Collingwood against North, I thought he was very close to best man on the ground. 30 seconds to go in this quarter. Oh, here come the Magpies again. Robertson, talk about Gavin Brown. There he is again, a short one to Perkins. Oh, the young players are looking really good. Francisco, another one of the under-19 players. David Robertson, can they get another one? Wes Fellows, up he goes. Charges after the ball. Still there is Big Wes. Knocks it on. Here's a chance for the Magpies. Time running out, the siren about to go. And there it is, and I think Hawthorn will be very, very, very happy to hear that siren because Collingwood were in action again. And what a quarter of football that by the Magpies. 3 points the difference. Collingwood at three-quarter time, 8-9-57, a brilliant quarter. Lead Hawthorn, 8 goals, 6, 54.
Don't forget to be watching tomorrow night for the continuing drama of Home and Away. Young Stephen turned sleuth in his efforts to nail his friend's violent father. Home and Away tomorrow here on 7. Welcome back to VFL Park, and there are the quarter-by-quarter scores. And in that third term, Collingwood kicked 6 goals 7 to the Hawks 3-2 to convert a 20-point deficit into a 3-point lead. So at the last change, 8-9 to 8 goals 6, and the Magpies with their nose in front for what could be a real boil over here in the Panasonic Cup. Let's have a look at the prize money in this competition. Already Collingwood and Hawthorn have won $16,000 in the first round, further $20,000 for winners in the quarterfinals, and a big prize if you go right through and win the grand final. And just a reminder that we'll be picking a player of the night with 1 quarter to go to judge, and this is what he'll win.
The player of the match receives this magnificent compact-sized variable power oven by courtesy of Panasonic.
Former Collingwood champion Peter McKenna's got a broad grin on his face now. Bernie Quinlan is totally unbiased about this, but you can't help but to get inspired with a comeback like that.
Brilliant play that quarter. Well, when you consider that Collingwood have had 6 goals 7, they've kicked them 2 out of bounds, they've had 15 shots to Hawthorn's 5, and here's that long goal from Doug Barwick. He's been pretty lively up there on that half-forward line. 60-metre kick there by Doug Barwick, and pretty inspirational stuff. Here's the mark to Big Wes Fellows. Langford just thought it was going through for a behind, allowed Fellows to mark it, and what a shot for goal this was by Big Wes. Lined up right on the boundary line. Here it is, a banana kick and a magnificent goal. That one put Collingwood in front, and Hawthorn didn't know which way to turn at that stage, Pete.
Now here's Peter Donegan and Dixie Marshall on the boundary line.
Thanks, Drew. Well, Lee Matthews told his players to keep in mind so many of the Hawthorn players have been in Adelaide. He said he wants them to run and run until they can't run anymore. Well, what about the other camp, Dixie?
Pretty simple too. Pressure, discipline, character.
Well, we're going to have a great last quarter. The Magpies have the advantage. Back to the commentary box and Drew Morfitt.
Well, really looking forward to this. We've got a crowd of 17,000 at VFL Park. The Magpies lead the Mighty Hawks. 25 minutes plus time on to go. Can the Magpies do it?
Well, it'll be a big test. Hawthorn will fight it right out, but Collingwood should remember they kicked 11 goals against North Melbourne a couple of weeks ago. Here they come. Is that a free kick to Hawthorn? It is to Russell Morris, in my opinion, in his rightful position, half-back flank. He's a better half-back flanker than he is a forward, in my humble opinion, as he brings it down towards centre wing, over the back. Well, gee, I'll tell you what, if Collingwood can score the first goal, it'll be an interesting game. Here's nearly the best man on the ground, Gavin Brown, former Marsland College student. I taught him, actually, Drew, many years ago. David Robertson.
Is that why you say good?
Shows how old I'm getting. The hand pass out wide. Here he is again, Gavin Brown, but it's got to come back. Robertson is at 50 metres. In fact, yes. It's a 50-metre penalty, and I'll tell you what, Hawthorn are doing some undisciplined things, which is uncharacteristic of the Hawks. Now this kick is almost up at the 50-metre line by Robertson, and a goal here, and boy, Collingwood crowd will go mad, particularly if he kicks this one. There's the kick, won't quite make the distance. Christian from behind flies, no mark. Abbott to Ayres. Gary Ayres on the left foot, back it comes. Russo, no one there to lend him a hand though. Michael Tucker's the one who had to do the chasing. Graham Atkins, a short one to half-forward, and a very good mark by Paul Hawke under pressure from Andrew Collins.
And good shepherding from Doug Barwick.
Oh, there's another loose man. Will it come off? It does. It's grabbed by Atkins. He straightens up on the left foot. He fires. It's another one to the Magpies.
And they've just continued on with a great form. They showed in that third quarter. Now leading by 9 points. Lee Matthews, I'm sure, is very happy. It was a little bit dangerous, that one from Hawke. Here it is. Atkins was really swamped by those two Hawthorn players. Somehow got through to him, and a great snap on the left foot.
Well, Atkins has done a great job tonight on Platten. Platten has hardly been sighted. I don't suppose we should make excuses for Hawthorn. A lot of them had a lot of football. Let's give the credit to Collingwood at the moment. There's Manson out wide to Barwick. Barwick to Mullane, and they look fresh and keen, the Magpies. There's Mullane hooking it back. Tuck. Oh, Tuck has been tremendous tonight. He's been Hawthorn's best player by a mile, and even Michael Tuck, the usually unruffled Michael Tuck, starting to lose his temper a little. There's 11 kicks and a number of hand passes. Brereton from behind is pushed out of it. Play on, said the umpires, on half forward, but Collingwood certainly, Bernie, looking the fresher side at this time.
Well, they've dominated this complete second half, haven't they, Peter? They've come out there and they've shown a tremendous application and determination to go on with this game.
Brereton going in ruck against Manson there. Somebody eventually will get it clear. It's the wizard Dacos. Clever little kick, that, a beauty. Turner. And now McGuan, Starcevic, and he's held one. And the crowds will wake up to the fact he's been Mr. Butterfingers tonight. Big roar went up around the ground. Straight up the centre he goes. It comes to the back. Chance for Christian. Atkins kicked the last one. No, it's Perkins. He didn't get it back far enough, and he's kicked it behind.
Gee, would have been a handy one, that one, by young Mark Perkins. He panicked a little bit. 54 to 64, 10 points the difference. But, well, we've seen Hawthorn before in situations like this, and they do come back. They're only 10 points behind. Russell Morris, oh, that's down the field. Oh, the umpire, that's poor umpiring. You saw that one. After he got rid of it, he ignored it. So that was very poor umpiring. That, as we see, Mullane, he had a good view of that, and he just ignored it. Up to half forward, and the mark has been taken by Abbott. Paul Abbott has taken a few good marks since coming on the ground. Out wide, looking for Condon. And now this is the difference now. There's two Collingwood players there against one. That was Brown to Dacos, they've been the two best Collingwood players on the ground. Brown and Dacos. Dacos, a booming kick again to half forward. Abbott sets himself, can't take it. The Hawks trying desperately to get it out. Condon. A long one wide. Brereton has given some latitude here, and the Collingwood crowd don't like Dermott. And Brereton, off he goes. Beautiful pass to Buckenara. Oh, they've got loose men everywhere, Hawthorn. Buckenara's ignored them. Now he kicks long. Dunstall against two of them. Over the back is Jason Dunstall. Kicks it off the ground. Bounces the wrong way of the goal post and through for a behind.
That's his first miss. 3 goals, 1. The Magpies still leading by 9 points. As Dennis Banks kicks in. Gives it everything he's got and kicks about 65 metres. Tapped back by Loveridge. Clever to Morrissey. Centering kick. Kroll is there, number 8. All Beach players out of bounds for a throw in. About 45 metres around from the behind post. And look at this crowd here. Certainly when the Magpies are going well, the crowds will come to the footy. Brereton in ruck again. Hall bowled over. Banks charging through the pack. Slides the hand pass away to McGuan. Great play. Back to the centre of the ground. Wide open. Starcevic has taken another one. Goes bang. Christian's there. He's underneath it. Comes down to the front of the pack. Hawke. They're stumbling. It must be a bit slippery out there. Wes Fellows pops it up to Christian again. At the back, Perkins. But Morris outnumbered 2-1. Went for the boundary line.
It's no use popping it in that pocket, is it, Peter? We should have gone for the goal square at least and given the Collingwood players a chance. But kicking it into that pocket, really, the angle would have been too severe for them anyway if they had have got the ball.
Well, deep in that forward pocket. Let's see if the Magpies can score another one. Fellows. Oh, good ruck work. Hawke caught with the ball. And the umpire said it was held to him. Deep in that forward pocket. 55 plays 64. 9 points the difference. A handy break. There are 19 minutes and 22 seconds to go in this quarter. Can the Magpies go on with it and beat the Hawks? It'll be a real boil over. And the umpires plucked the free kick out of that. Said it was too high to Mick McGuan, right in front of goal, 30 metres out. An interesting one to have a look at. I think he did cop it around the head.
Yeah, I'm sure it was the right decision there, Peter, because Michael Tuck, the decision was against. And I think it was more for a leg over the shoulder or around the neck than a hand. Pretty good kick for goal, this bloke too, young Michael McGuan. Kicked 1 goal and just missed another one, so he's a very important kick.
Well,
if he turns out to be as good as Billy Picken was for the Magpies, it'll be all right. He was a great finals player.
He certainly was, and they've certainly, Hawthorn have missed Greg Deere in the ruck tonight. They're not getting the ball out of the centre now. Abbott's been shifted into the ruck. Schwab caught. Over to Abbott. Let's see if the Hawks can come back. Brereton. Now, was that in the back? No, said the umpire. Platten's been well held. Here's danger because Dunstall leads out. Oh, magnificent play, Dunstall to Hall. Hall gets it across to Buckenara into the open goal, and here come the Hawks again.
You can never write them off, can you, really? Because just when you think that everything's going Collingwood's way, all of a sudden there's Buckenara chipping in with an easy goal. And they've got so many brilliant players up on that forward line. Great tap on by Dunstall. Good handball there by Hall, and Buckenara finishes off the good play.
Tremendous play that by Jason Dunstall. He is a grateful forward. And Buckenara kicked the goal, but mark that down to Dunstall. It was a terrific tap on, and he's done a couple of those tonight, Drew, resulting in goals.
He'll never kick 100 if he keeps giving them away, will he?
No, I don't think he'd care, to be quite honest.
Big tap away there by Manson, off the ground by Langford, but it's going Collingwood's way. Turner pokes over the little pass to Starcevic. Well, he's got the handling back this quarter, Craig Starcevic. In he goes, Turner charging onto it again. Kick across the ground, slightly backwards. Manson underneath the ball, couldn't quite take the mark, but it comes back to him. 65 out right in front, goes long. Fellows is there. Comes to the back. Morris back there. Hawke for Collingwood. Ayres not even prepared to give away a point here. Out to Mew. All Hawthorn over there, and they could go from one end of the ground to the other. Morrissey up to Brereton. Already to the centre. And running past Schwab. Under pressure, the Hawks coming good. Inside half forward. Thumped away by Krasiska. Chance for Hall. Back it goes to Collins. Now to Platten. He shows a bit of toe now. Threads the needle. Dunstall well placed. Great mark.
He is a brilliant player, this guy. I love watching him. He is, well, in my opinion, he's close to the best full forward in the league. Look at that again, unselfish across there to Russo. And I'll tell you what, don't write off Hawthorn. They've got, Dixie Marshall mentioned at three-quarter time the word character, Bernie. They've got plenty of that.
Plenty of that, there's no doubt about that, Peter.
Well, at the moment, the Magpies lead by 9. Can Russo narrow it to 3 points? No, he's hooked it. Lucky to bring up a score.
It's a tired-looking kick, that.
Yeah, I think the pressure from Collingwood has really told. There's been a few uncharacteristic mistakes from the Hawthorn side tonight.
16 minutes and 20 seconds to go in this quarter. Morrissey from behind. That was almost a mark to Robertson. There's Hawthorn. Oh, beautiful backing up. Oh, good tackling on Abbott. McGuan kicked the goal a moment ago. Now he's down the back line battling away, and these young players...
He even puffs like puffing Billy Pickett.
He does. He certainly does look like Billy. What a great performer and character he was for Collingwood for many years. There's the official time. Almost 16 minutes to go. Tuck has been brilliant tonight. If they win this game, Hawthorn, they can thank Tuck. There's Brereton. Oh, courageous mark and great play, Dunstall. And Brereton hasn't had a real good go from the men in white tonight. I reckon every time he's gone for the ball, he's been crunched, and he's still keeping his eyes on the ball. And that was a courageous mark. Good shepherding by Dunstall.
Yeah, he's great value on the forward line, Dunstall and Brereton. Dermott hasn't done a real lot, but gee, he's tried hard up there on the forward line.
Taken 8 marks, or 10 marks. 10 marks and 8 kicks, so he is a great mark. Well, he's, 15 metres out, directly in front, and if he kicks this, the difference will be 2 points in favour of the Magpies. He kicks, and goal.
2 goals each in this final term, and Collingwood leading by 2 points, still with 15 minutes remaining, just under. Manson up very high. Tuck again. What a game. He's only got a handful of matches to go to pass Lee Matthews for the club record. Here's McGuan again. Starred in the second half, McGuan. Chance for Collingwood off the hands, but it doesn't go their way. Ayres hacks it out of the air. Barwick. Great diving tackle there by Gowers. Christian taking it outside 50. And Langford forces the ball up.
Oh, gee, they're like vultures, those Hawthorn backmen. When that ball is loose, they pounce in on top of you, and life's not easy on the forward line tonight for those Collingwood forwards. There's Abbott, doing well in the ruck. Russo to Collins. Collins off the side of the boot. Whitman was there, fisted away to Loveridge. Loveridge, oh, Dennis Banks, can he get there? No, he can't. Platten, well covered tonight by Atkins. Banks, will he hand pass it? Yes, he does. Jamie Turner, here come the Magpies. A long kick to the forward line. Up goes Fellows, fisted away to Collins. Collins, all the Hawks backing up beautifully to Gow as it goes. Wide. Centre wing is Brereton. Oh, beautiful hip and shoulder by Brereton. Oh, another hip and shoulder. Was it in the head? Oh, it's a free kick to Brereton. But I thought that might have been hip and shoulder too. Or maybe it was a bit high. Umpire says play on. He's a tough cookie, Dermott Brereton. Buckenara. Loveridge. Oh, beautiful football left by Hawthorn. Dunstall. That was sensational football from the back line all the way down to the forward line. Champagne football. And if Dunstall kicks this, Hawthorn go to the front by 4 points. 3 goals he's kicked. Terrific exhibition of full forward play by Dunstall tonight. 40 metres out. He kicks. It floats. He goes. Hawthorn hit the...
Lee Matthews has just seen his team go behind. But they're right in it. 74-70. The Hawks with their noses in front at the moment. A backhander by Abbott. Was grabbed there by Whitman. Back come the Magpies. Stumped out of the air by Langford. Whitman had the ball hooked out of his hands. Langford again up towards half forward. Oh, good mark. Backing back into them, Krasiska.
Plenty of courage there, Drew.
The former Queenslander, All-Australian Teal Cupper, and represented Queensland and Adelaide last week, Gavin Krasiska. Here's Jamie Turner, up towards centre half forward. Ayres with a good punch. That's great stuff. Morrissey, eventually into Tuck. Up towards half forward. Bit high for Hall. Thump away.
Yeah, the umpire's picked it up. Free kick.
Free kick to Collingwood. He was legged by Hall.
Yes, I think he lacks. I reckon he lacks 1 yard in pace. Tony Hall, Drew. His Kroll was just a little bit too quick for him on that occasion. Gets it across to Francisco. This is anybody's game. A terrific exhibition of football, this, by both sides. It's been a real tough game right from the beginning. Hawthorn just starting to get on top. Morrissey, he looks out wide. Oh, it's a bad kick. It allows Mullane to chip in. He kicks wide. There's loose men everywhere for Collingwood. This is McGuan. He could have given it to Brown. He comes back to the centre of the ground. To Turner, a poor kick by Turner. To half forward. This is Langford. Across to Abbott. Paul Abbott's done brilliantly. Oh, Brereton. As soon as the going gets tough, Brereton comes good. Beautiful pass. Oh, in the head. It has to be a free kick to Russo. But great play by Brereton. Oh, silly play by Manson. That should be 50 metres against Manson. And the umpire's not paying it. Well, stupid play, Manson. Elbowed Brereton in the head.
That's twice. He's given away 2 free kicks, Peter. The one to Brereton and that one to Peter Russo.
Should have been 50 metres as well. Then the umpire ignored it. Well, it's on centre wing. Hand pass. Oh, some tough play. Brereton's been fantastic in this quarter. There's Tuck again. He looks for Platten. Platten runs into the open goal. 40 metres. Johnny Platten fires and it's another one to the Hawks.
Back in the centre. Well, Collingwood had the lead, but the Hawks have kicked the last 2 goals. Can the Magpies come back again from a 10-point deficit? We've got 10.5 minutes remaining in the match. Manson has charged through packs and through individuals tonight. Morrissey, a good run out of the middle. Platten gets decked over by Atkins. Hall, who gave that clever tap onto Tuck to set up that last goal. And it's rushed over the boundary line by Jason Kroll. And we'll have a throw in just inside 50. The Hawks back into attack. Has Collingwood's effort told on them? And can the Hawks steady and go away and win it? Been a top night. Great football game to watch. Brereton done a fair bit of rucking. Oh, a bit of tunnel ball there. It goes straight to Dacos, who covers a lot of distance from a standing start kick. Up towards the centre. Two-fister by Russo, back for Hawthorn. Schwab. High towards centre half forward. Punch away by Krasiska. Atkins beaten to it by Platten. Platten taking it defensively, but great play just the same. Looking for somebody to go past, and who is it? Michael Tuck. Beautiful football, Tuck, and he hits Morrissey right on the chest with a magnificent pass.
He is amazing, Michael Tuck. He has had a sensational night. Almost best on the ground. I think he and Dacos and, of course, Gavin Brown. But Tuck has been sensational. I said in the third quarter, if they win this game, they can thank Michael Tuck because I think you'd agree, Bernie.
He's been fantastic. He's certainly had plenty of run left in his legs tonight.
Well, here's Morrissey from 50 metres. Probably won't quite make the distance. Up they go. Oh, the big fly was by Manson. And the ball is forced through for a point. So
Manson's tried very hard tonight, hasn't he? He's been tremendous in the ruck. He's
really
just about rucked all night.
Tremendous effort by Manson.
Ask a couple of the Hawks how hard he's gone in.
Oh, yeah. He certainly has. 11 points the difference. Let's see if the young Magpies can come back. Hawthorn, they have got tons of character. There's Tuck again. Magnificent play to Collins. The Hawks have got into another gear now. When the pressure was applied, they came good. There's Brereton up in front. Fisted away. Oh, Buckenara, great use of the body. Still going in after. Kicked off the ground by Abbott. Here's a chance for the Magpies. Tuddenham. A wide hand pass to Barwick. Let's see if he can control the ball. He can't pick it up. Russo's there. Good play, Barwick. Off the ground he goes and over the line and out of bounds. Good play, Barwick. And the ball is on centre wing. 8.5 minutes to go in this final quarter.
Well, it's still only 2 kicks, 2 straight kicks for Collingwood to put them in front. Abbott for Hawthorn wins it. Comes straight to Puffin Billy. I'm going to call him Puffin Billy. He looks so much like Billy Pick and McGuan. But this kick goes straight onto the chest of Collins. Now to Russo. Up towards half forward. Atkins, a clever tap through, finding Hawke. Brereton into his back, no whistle. Hawke tunnels it out the back. Schwab, good football. In between the ball and his opponent, and wins the free kick, Peter Schwab.
He's a goer, Peter Schwab. Well, they've got all goers, Hawthorn. Look at that kick out wide to Gowers. A little chip pass across. There's a loose man there, and Buckenara's had an excellent quarter. He's been roaming across that half-forward line, Bernie.
Been very dangerous this quarter, Peter, and he could even be a chance to kick this one. Be kicking from about 45, maybe 48 metres out. And we saw last year in the preliminary final he has no problems with this sort of distance.
Well, there's the kick, as you said, 45 metres, a beautiful looking drop punt. That is a goal, I think. Yes, a great goal.
And that's just about finished it, I think, for Collingwood. Hawthorn have found another gear in this final quarter, and their real class is showing out. Collingwood have had a tremendous night. They've tried everything, they've thrown everything at the Hawthorn side. But you look at that Hawthorn side, when you see players who can kick goals like Gary Buckenara, he kicked it from about 48 metres out, right through the middle. And they've just had the classy players who have really come into it in the last quarter and made all the difference.
Well, back in the centre and with just 7 minutes remaining, couldn't really see Collingwood getting up to win it from here. Oh, Manson got pretty high and won the tap, but straight to Tuck. He got one high and will take the free kick. Bit of irony in the fact that I think he's about 4 games short of passing Lee Matthews for the club games record, and of course Lee Matthews is coaching the opposition tonight.
I think a lot of people, Drew, would have felt that Michael Tuck should have retired at the end of last year. I think he's going to prove them wrong.
Tuck to centre half forward, Brereton up from behind, comes to the front to Buckenara, who's kicked 2 goals in this last quarter. Dunstall leads in the race for the ball, couldn't quite handle it that time, but kept his footing. Platten outside 50. Hand pass dropped a bit short. Oh, that was clever play though by Whitman. Back to Platten, standing start up to the goal square. Hall, ooh, almost. Tony Hall still fighting for it. He's outnumbered about 2-1 there. The whistle's gone and the umpire will ball it up. Well, when they needed to find something extra, they were certainly able to do it, the Hawks. And their class has shown out. Brereton, done a lot of rucking tonight. Hall, Schwab, over his shoulder. Wide to the pocket, Brereton charging at it. It bounces back in the field of play. Dunstall pulls Tuddenham off the ball. Morwood goes for a slap round the boundary line, gains about 30 metres, and the ball out near 50.
Well, I think the sting has gone out of the Magpies, and look, we mentioned that word character. Hawthorn have got a ton of that, and most sides would have compounded, I think, tonight under that Collingwood onslaught. 5.5 minutes to go. It's not over yet, of course, but there's a chance for Chris Whitman on the left foot. He fires and doesn't quite make the distance. Shane Morwood's been beaten by Dunstall tonight. Hand pass to Banks. Let's see if the Magpies can come back. There's still 5 minutes. Paul Tuddenham. But really the sting does look to have gone out of them a little bit. Mullane. Now, the Hawthorn backmen have all those Collingwood forwards well covered, and it forced Mullane into going short then, and almost a mistake. McGuan, now here's a chance, because coming down the ground, Jamie Turner has had a pretty good night. From behind was Ayres, almost a mark to the man in front, but here's the loose ball again. This is Andrew Collins as he comes away from half-back and kicks it wide. Johnny Platten's had a much better quarter on Graham Atkins. Here's a one-out duel again. Platten fighting hard against Atkins. Hasn't had a great night, Johnny Platten, but when the pressure's been on, he's been able to have a very, very good last quarter. It's halfway between well, there's James Manson, a very tired man. He's given his heart with Mark Perkins there. He's really tried hard, Manson. Fellows against Abbott. Abbott's made a big difference in the ruck, Drew.
Has. Because neither of the Deers are playing here tonight for the Hawks. That's knocked up the ground out near the boundary line. Krasiska, number 28. It's gone out and we'll have a boundary throw in.
A couple of the Collingwood stars in the first half, or the first 3 quarters, Dacos and Gavin Brown, have gone out of it in this last quarter. I think they're missing their drive. They did in that first 3 quarters.
They might have burnt themselves out a little bit.
Fellows wins it, gets it down to Krasiska. Oh, McGuan again, well done. Just ran out of room and the ball out of play up just short of centre wing. Well, Michael McGuan, under-19 premiership team season before last, and he's got 4 teammates from that team in the seniors here tonight. In fact, 10 of them have gone on to play league footy, which is a pretty good conversion rate. This comes to Hawke. Centering kick. Mullane, good mark. Oh, Darren Mullane, who won their best and fairest last year. Last-ditch effort by the Magpies. Streaming out for this, Starcevic. Underneath the ball. Off the ground by Schwab. And back he goes. Plenty of support here from Collins. Up towards centre wing. And Russo lopes after this one. Takes the easy chest mark. Kicks into space. No one really there. Brereton well behind. Banks with him. Well done, Dennis Banks. But Russo dives and takes a good mark.
Hawthorn has certainly got into another gear in this quarter, as we've been saying they're quite capable of doing. As soon as the game looked like being lost, all their stars started to fire. Brereton's been magnificent in this quarter, as has Tuck. They've had many good players. Their backline's been very, very strong. There's Morrissey taking a mark. To Morris. Here they come, the Hawks again. Now they're looking for Dunstall. What's the way he fights for this? Used his body beautifully. Allows his teammate there in Whitman to do the roving. Whitman on the left foot, brings it to the centre half forward area, but it's taken by Turner. Turner away to Paul Hawke. He fists it further afield. Kicked by Barwick. Now Starcevic hooks it back. Dacos, a very tired player in this last quarter. Over to Hawke. Hawke, a short one to Christian. He can't get there. Gary Ayres wearing him like a glove. Ayres kicks straight across goal because he knew he had loose men everywhere, and James Morrissey takes the mark. He's had a fairly good quarter too. Hooks it back to Morris. This is beautiful ball skills by Hawthorn. As we see Morris, a long one to half forward. 2-on-1. The ball comes loose to Whitman with his great pace. He's able to get away. Even has time to slip. Platten, 1-on-2, and it's a mark to big Wes Fellows on half-back flank.
Platten didn't have much of a chance there. Outnumbered 2-1, and Fellows about twice his size. Back towards centre wing. Morris, second grab, takes the mark. Up towards centre half forward for a bit of space here. Gowers was there. Socket off the ground by Barwick, but straight into the hands of Abbott. And the game's slowing down a bit now. A 17-point lead to the Hawks, and just a minute and a half remaining in the game. There's a mark to Wes Fellows. He's not going to get 50 metres out of that. Atkins. Oh, poor kick straight onto the chest of his opponent, John Platten. He bangs Hawthorn back into attack, and Hall takes a good mark. And the Hawks off and running. Platten again, wide to Dunstall, and this time he didn't take it. Oh, Platten for the third time. Gets it back to Dunstall. Great stuff. Hall from 50, just inside 50. Brereton's there on the line if it's not a goal. It is a goal. To Tony Hall.
Yeah, great stuff, Tony Hall, and great stuff by Jason Dunstall there on the forward line. He missed a mark, one of his rare mistakes for the night. Backed up and got it out again to the running player in Tony Hall. And Tony Hall kicked his second goal. There's the handball out. Hall, lovely goal from 50 metres out. And they've got plenty of class players up there on that forward line, Hawthorn.
Well, they've kicked 6 goals in this final quarter. Brereton's been absolutely tremendous. You can't hold him down, and he'd be a tired player. He looks tired. Jason Kroll there picking up Tony Hall. 93 plays 70, 23 points the difference. But that doesn't really tell the story. It has been a great game and a very even game. Hawthorn, they really have a ton of character this side. 30 seconds to go in this match. Kicked off the ground by Abbott. He's made an enormous difference in the ruck, Paul Abbott, as he often does. There he is again, kicking it off the ground. Mick McGuan. Here's a chance for the Magpies as he finds Craig Starcevic. He runs to the 50-metre line. It's a long driving drop punt. It's a beautiful kick, and it's a goal to Starcevic.
There's a little bit of a blue on up behind play there between Darren Malone and Chris Langford. But it doesn't make any difference. The goal goes through to Collingwood. And you can't say anything about their lack of trying. They've tried really hard all night, Collingwood. And Starcevic, although he's made a few mistakes, he's also tried hard up there on the forward line.
Well, the clock has stopped for the boundary, for the ball up in the centre. Just 4 seconds officially remaining in the game. Abbott goes up. Won't have time to get it out of the centre circle. And there it is. Victory to the Hawks, who in the last quarter kicked 6 goals 3 to Collingwood. His third quarter rush brought them to a standstill a little bit in the last quarter. The Magpies kicked 3-1 in the last quarter. The Hawks 14-9, 93, beating Collingwood 11-10, 76.